If your December has felt like emotional cardio, carrying the schedules, the expectations, the relationships, the memories, the meals, the magic making, the mental load, your body is probably whispering, just please slow down. And if you're walking into this week tired or overwhelmed or overstimulated, and honestly, a little bit emotionally crispy around the edges, you're not alone. Today, we are talking about soul love, why it matters, and how it becomes the actual antidote to emotional overload, especially during the holidays when everything feels louder, harder, and heavier. Welcome to Mindset Medicine with Dr. Tanya Berfield, where science meets soul, burnout meets boundaries, and high achieving women finally stop performing and start healing. I am a resilience and transformation expert, nervous system strategist, and recovering overfunctioner just like you. This podcast is your sanctuary for breaking cycles, rewriting stories, and reclaiming your energy, your peace, and your power. Each week, we blend neuroscience, somatic practices, and spiritual truth to help you unlearn the noise and remember who you really are. You're not broken. You're breaking free. And this is your medicine. This season brings twinkle lights and nostalgia and joy, but it also brings weight. The weight of family dynamics, expectations, unspoken emotional responsibilities, old wounds flaring up, traditions that you feel you are responsible for upholding, perfectionism that is disguised as making it special, the invisible labor that no one acknowledges, but everyone else benefits from. When you mix that with the weight that you were already carrying before the holidays came knocking, the work pressure, the motherhood, the aging parents, the relationships, the health, identity shifts, all of this trying to keep everyone emotionally stable, you name it, your system hits overload. The emotional overload is not about weakness. It's never about weakness. It's about capacity. Your nervous system can only carry so much before it starts to signal with things like a tight chest or maybe irritability, tears that come out of nowhere, exhaustion, numbness, the urge to just check out, the resentment that you don't want to feel, maybe a fantasy of just running away for a couple of days, or even this quieter one of just wanting one day with nothing to hold. So let's normalize this. December does not create this weight. It reveals what you are already challenged with. And if you you cannot. You cannot mindset your way out of emotional overload, but you can love your way out of it. So let's talk about soul love. Soul love is not romantic by any means. It's not performative. It's not martyrdom or sacrifice or this, I'll carry everything so nobody else gets upset. Instead, this soul love is unconditional. It is compassionate and honest, steady, grounding, nourishing, deeply respectful, and deeply dignifying. It says you do not have to earn your worthiness by carrying the world. It lets you soften. It tells your nervous system that you are safe. You don't have to grip on so tightly, and you don't have to be this strong one all of the time. Soul love can be the first real breath that you have taken all month long. And soul love is what makes letting go finally feel possible. Not because you don't care, but because you finally feel safe enough to rest. I keep referring to this soul love. And if you caught in a couple of the earlier December episodes, I shared that for this month, the December of 2025, I pulled an oracle card for our collective, for all of us for the month. And I used let me hold it up, my Angelic Lightwork deck by Elena Fairchild. This is my favorite deck for this sort of work. And as it does, this card landed so freaking hard and true, not just for me, but for all of the women that I have been working with and for everyone that I know is listening. So I have an excerpt from this card that I pulled because, as I said, this card was soul love. And so what I want to do is read you the excerpt from the book. It's going to ring true for you. So I want you to take a deep breath. I want you to let go of any of the tension, even if it's just for a minute. And I really want you to let this land. Are we ready? Okay. So from the book, Soul Love. You are in the process of healing your relationship with yourself, moving from criticism to insight, from judgment to compassion, from fear to love. This change in your inner vibration has an outer effect. I want to say that again. This change in your inner vibration has an outer effect. We'll talk about that. The full extent of which is yet to be experienced. The changes may not always feel good. They may challenge you to transform your attitude and default behavior patterns, such as caving to guilt or being manipulated by shame. Yet they are ultimately positive. You are learning the true nature of soul love and creating this respectful, honoring, unconditional, and encouraging love within yourself. You are also in the process of attracting healthy soulmate connections. Continue on your self love journey and have faith in the souls that will respond to your pure heart vibration, bringing joy, play, and connection to your world. Isn't that beautiful? So, take a breath. Because while that is absolutely beautiful, it's more than just this poetic language, right? This is a map of what you are actually living right now at this very moment. So, what does it really mean for you? It means you are healing your relationship with yourself. Hear that again, because my friend, this is the foundation for everything. You are healing your relationship with yourself. That is one hell of a revolution. It means that your inner critic is softening. It means that you are responding with compassion instead of punishment. You're noticing patterns instead of shaming yourself for them. You're releasing guilt as a decision-making strategy. You're rejecting being emotionally manipulated by shame. You're learning to offer yourself grace. You're recognizing that rest is not indulgent, it's medicine. You're redefining what love feels like inside of your own body. This inner healing is why you feel raw right now, tender and emotional, like you're shedding a layer of skin. Growth does not always feel good, but it is always sacred. And soul love is what helps your nervous system tolerate this transformation. So here's the beautiful and sometimes uncomfortable truth. When you learn to love yourself differently, this is what I was getting back to with that vibration. When you learn to love yourself differently, you love others differently. I am a true testament to this. It has been so profound in my life. So you are no longer over functioning, absorbing everyone else's emotional responsibility, caving under guilt, saying yes out of fear, tolerating imbalance, carrying resentment, maybe quietly, performing roles that drain you, sacrificing your peace to keep the peace. Instead, soul love gives you boundaries that feel rooted rather than rigid, compassion without self abandonment, softness without self sacrifice, forgiveness without forgetting yourself, connection without carrying everything, your relationships will shift, not because you force them to, but because you are showing up in a different energetic frequency, a healthier frequency, a truer frequency, one that attracts reciprocity and respect and peace. Your inner, this was from the book, your inner vibration has an outer effect. This is totally in line with also one of my favorite sayings, which is your vibe attracts your tribe. What you put out there is what you bring back in. So if you are bitching and carrying on nonstop, guess what you are bringing in? If you are showing grace and compassion and empathy, guess what you are pulling back in, even when that is what you are showing yourself. It really is pretty amazing. So this healing is not happening to you. Keep this in mind because it gets uncomfortable. It is not happening to you. It is happening for you. And for every relationship you'll ever experience, especially this relationship with yourself. All right, so let's connect to the dots. Emotional overload comes from fear, from guilt, from shame, from self-criticism, perfectionism, control, performing to earn your worth, carrying what isn't yours. The soul love that we keep coming back to dissolves every single one of those roots and patterns. True soul love is not perfect. It is just true. It quiets that inner critic. It interrupts the guilt. It releases the shame. It softens rigidity. It regulates your nervous system. It brings clarity to what is yours to hold. It gives you permission to let go. It reconnects you to joy and peace and play. It is not a concept. It is a psychological, a physiological shift. It changes your breath. It changes your posture. It changes your language. It changes your energy. It changes your relationships. And when you step into soul love, even by 5%, the emotional overload will begin to melt away. So as we do, let's practice a couple of somatic based tools that are doable, that are grounding, and that are absolutely perfect for the holidays. So the first one is just a gratitude softening practice. This is not performative gratitude. It's not being great. It's not being grateful instead of feeling stressed. It's a micro softening gratitude, the kind that settles your nervous system and brings your heart back into alignment. So I want you to take a nice big belly breath, nice big breath in. And then I want you to ask yourself, what is one thing that I am grateful for that asks nothing of me in return? Not a person to care for, not a role that you play, something that exists simply to support or delight you. That might just be as simple as the sunlight on your face, the warm, fuzzy socks, enjoying your morning coffee, or maybe even dog kisses and snuggles, right? This form of gratitude does not add pressure. It releases it. It shifts your body out of tension or emotional overload by reminding your system that there is good here, even in the chaos. This is soul love in motion. Okay, the second one is the grace pause. So, this is powerful in December when reactions are high and your bandwidth is low. Before you respond to something, before you take something on, before you say yes, just out of habit or expectation, I want you to pause for 5 seconds. Just pause, breathe, and then you ask yourself, what would grace choose here? Grace might choose silence instead of explanation, rest instead of productivity, a soft no instead of a resentful yes, allowing someone else to step in, or even doing it imperfectly instead of not at all. That grace will interrupt your guilt, your shame, your overfunctioning, your defense mechanisms, and the emotional overload. This practice will teach your body and your mind that you are allowed to choose yourself without abandoning others. That is soul love. And then the last one for today, that is a heart release breath. So this is breath work that is simple and instantly calming. So what we're going to do is inhale, hold, and exhale, and I'm going to count you through it. So we're going to inhale for the count of 4, hold it just for 1, and then exhale with a soft sigh for the count of 8. So inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. Do it again on your own count. And then as you exhale, I want you to imagine one expectation leaving your body or one responsibility that's loosening its grip. Just do that as you exhale. This breath tells your nervous system that it is safe to let go, even if just for a moment, even just by 5%. It is also physiologically shifting you out of that sympathetic activation, the place of emotional overload, that where that lives in your body. This breath is also soul love in action. Okay, friend, you do not need to carry every emotion, every responsibility, every expectation, every wound, every tradition, every memory, every fear. You are allowed to set these things down. You are allowed to soften. You are allowed to love yourself enough to move differently through this season. This soul love is your antidote for emotional overload, and grace is how you will apply it. And if this episode opened something in you, if you felt that deep exhale that you've been craving, I'd invite you into deeper work with the Radical Resilience book bundle. It is everything you need to step into the new year with clarity, with peace, and emotional strength. It gives you the signed book, the workbook, the grounding audio journey, the tools that help you regulate, release, and rise. Buy it for yourself. Buy it for a sister who's been silently struggling for way too long. Until next time, my friend, I love you.